Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of November 7th. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Catherine Hueco.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on the Parenting Roundabout, and today we are complaining about things that don't get done. Oh, I've got a laundry list of stuff. How about you guys?
Yeah, I had a bad day yesterday. I can access my son's work schedule online. And, he gets a schedule like 3 or 4 weeks ahead of time. So, and that's really nice because then I can put that down and then I know if I need to make appointments if he's working that day. And, people have to be available to drive him and all this stuff. So I just merrily go along doing that. And then every now and then it asks you to change your password. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I should do that in consultation with him because I think it maybe works for he has an app on his phone that shows his schedule. So I don't want to make a password and then he can't get into things he needs to get into. So I will say, hey, we got to make up a new password for this so I can get and see your schedule and say later. He says later. Mm-hmm. Usually he says tomorrow, but for this he was saying later. Yeah, we'll do that later. I'll do that later. And later never comes.
Yes.
I started singing the tomorrow song to him with later in it, hoping that would annoy him enough to just get it over with. But just nope. I tried sarcasm. I tried saying, okay, fine. Don't let me into your schedule. That's okay. But if you lose your job, you have to find your own. Next one.
These are empty threats, Terry.
They're empty threats, and they affect him not at all. He just sort of looked at me like, what is your problem now? And did not come running to fix the password. So finally, I talked to him. Mom's memory isn't so good lately, and I really do need to be able to see it to know. And I put it on my calendar here. Gave him the whole pitch. He said, okay, let's do it. I went on and suddenly let me on without the password. So then I looked like a complete idiot. But why can't people just do it when you ask them to do it? Mm-hmm. I mean, I am myself a grade A procrastinator, so I understand, but still, I feel like I am the family checklist.
Yep.
And that when people are not doing things, that means I have open files in my brain until we can get those closed, please. And nobody else feels any sense of urgency, really, at all. My husband is coaching for Special Olympics bowling again this year, being a helper coach. And the person who's in charge said, hey, you have to go on and register again as a coach, and you have to, just take this one little class, and then you'll be, qualified. Mm-hmm. And she made the mistake of telling him, we don't really need it until the bowling in the spring, so you don't have to be in any hurry. Well, I'm going to have a chat with her and say, please never say that to my husband. Because I keep saying, here's the website you need to go to, honey. Why don't you just go do it? It's going to take like an hour. It's nothing. Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. Doesn't do it.
But I have these TV shows I need to watch.
Yeah, right. Why don't you just knock this off? Oh, yeah, sure. Never does it. Weekend after weekend after weekend. He has days off during the week. I don't have days off during the week. Why don't you now just go on this website and do this thing? Oh, yeah. It's driving me nuts. We have people coming before Thanksgiving. We have some family coming out. The place where they're going to stay is a mess. I say, gee, do you think you and the kids could clean that up? He says, oh, yeah, sure. Has not been done yet. It's getting close. And I mean, it's like if they could say, hey, I really don't want to do it right now, but here's what I have planned. I thought I would do it this weekend, or I thought I would do it at this time. Mm-hmm. And if I haven't done it then, please mention it to me because I will have forgotten. Mm-hmm. But it's just, oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mm-hmm. And nothing. Mm-hmm. So what, do you guys have this happen too, where it's like, and I feel fairly comfortable in saying, if I don't nag, it won't get done.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
At all. But I nag and it doesn't do any good. So what do we do? What, am I alone in this, or do you guys have this happen to you too?
All the time.
Oh yeah. This week I tried the passive aggressive. What happens if I don't unload the dishwasher?
I just didn't do it for
My husband started putting dirty stuff in with the clean, and then he had to rerun the whole dishwasher.
So now you know what happens. Your question is answered.
That's what happens. Mm-hmm.
So sorry.
Oh my. It's just, I love my family. And I understand the urge to kick something down the road to the next possible time, but I really need to get stuff checked off this list, please.
Right.
Yeah. No, my family is very, just very ADHD, and I'm not being stereotypical. I'm not being like I'm not, it's not condescending, but they all have it, and it makes it very challenging when it comes to planning and executive functioning skills.
Oh, yeah.
It's very challenging because, they are all unique in their own ways, but they all struggle to just get things done.
Right.
It is, I'm still like my husband will say, "Can you remind me tomorrow? Can you remind me tomorrow? Can you send me an email?" And it's just strategies for putting me off, like for making me feel like, okay, if I do that, you'll get it done. And it drives me crazy, insane, because every day I said to him, I'm like, okay, this is so much stress on me to have to remind you, and I've got enough to worry about.
Yes.
Like, please take some responsibility. Write it down. I don't know. Set an alarm for yourself. Do something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm constantly thinking about it. It's constantly in the back of my mind. Oh, I got to remind them to do this. I got to remind them to do that. And it's a big stress.
Yeah, I keep emails in my inbox when it's like something that either I need to do or someone else needs to do, or it's like an appointment reminder or whatever. I keep it in there until the thing happens. And if it's not my thing to do, I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Please, I want to get rid of this email.
Yeah, totally. I have all these red flags in my email inbox of like, I got to pay attention to this. I got to pay attention to that. Yeah. My son he's probably the best out of all of them because he has to be because of his workload, but he just has his notes app and it's on his home, first his screen, right? And on his phone. And anytime something comes up or I mention something, he just writes it down. He just writes it down right away.
All right.
I'm like, yes.
But then does he do it? Or does he just write it down?
Yeah, he does. He's getting there.
And does he have like 1,000 notes? And how does he?
Yeah, like I don't know. He schedules his days so that he blocks out like at least, some time in the day to get through some of those things. And it's just a way that he's learned to cope. And he's started using it just before he applied for school. And he started using it, and it's been, he's really good about that. I mean, every once in a while it's like, did you do this? Did you do that? But for the most part, he's on it. So now I just wish my husband and daughter would do the same.
Right. I keep buying my child a paper planner, and but do you think you'll use this? Well, maybe. So I'm like, okay, it's a maybe. I buy it. No, doesn't happen. Does not.
I tried that for my daughter. So many different things.
Yeah. Those are the things I use to try to prompt myself to do the things I need to do, but I don't think it would work for my family. I was thinking the other day, could I get like a big piece of butcher paper and tape it to the closet door right by our kitchen and write down on it all the things that people had to do?
Yeah.
If that would work.
Do you think it would?
Probably not. I feel like I have done, I did post it on a bulletin board once before. Here are all the things y'all need to do. And it was roundly ignored. So maybe something bigger and more ticked off would.
That's right.
No, it would be amusing, and then it would become a thing like, let's just not do those things specifically to watch movies.
Right.
She thinks she can tell us what to do.
Yeah, I tried that for like a list of, I think it was like summer assignments or something.
Yeah.
That my kid needed to do. Wrote it on a big piece of paper. I'm like, and then we can check them off. Won't that be great?
Yeah, how'd that go over, Catherine?
No, we will not check them off because I have torn it from the door and ripped it into tiny pieces.
Oh,
That's what happened to it.
Oh, jeez. Do we need a reward system for them? Maybe.
No, I
It worked when my
tried.
kids were little.
I tried.
Need a mom app for their phones that would just, we could
Yes.
program it from afar to just nag them every so often.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, well, they'd find a way to disable it or just, my husband doesn't even have a phone that you can have an app on, so
Right.
my son would ignore it. But still, something like that,
Right.
so that we don't have to be bothered yelling at them.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it! Every, 20 minutes. Why haven't you done it?
It's not that hard.
Just tell me when.
Right.
I don't know if anybody has the answer.
Yeah, because I if they would do just tell me when, that might help because
Yeah.
once it's either done or there's a plan in place,
Right.
it definitely goes out of my brain, and then I'm gonna need to remind myself to check if it's done. But
Yeah. But if
just the other day, I was selling stuff for a fundraiser, and someone was like, "Well, text me at 8:00 tonight," and I was like, "Okay." So I set myself an alarm, and then at 8:00 the phone rang, and it was, of course, a number that I did not recognize. So I'm like, "Well, I'm not answering that." And then I was like, "Oh, I bet it's that person." Yep,
Yeah.
it was.
That's the one problem with not answering calls that you don't recognize is sometime you want to talk to them.
Right. I figured it out quickly. So
Yeah.
anyway, well, we are reliable
We are.
Yes.
here
Don't
on
need to
this
tell us
podcast.
twice.
and
That's
you can-
true.
Unless, of course, you're reminding Nicole to download the files for the podcast.
And sometimes we get those episodes done pretty late on Sunday, but still.
We still get it done. Nobody has to tell us twice.
We get it done.
Get it
with
done.
no reminders from our family members. We might have to
Listeners, if you
remind
wanna
each
just,
other.
Send us a text at, Sunday night at about 7:00. Are you done yet?
Are you ready?
Did you post that?
Well, we'll say that's it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about essential items. And then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.